Nice. Okay, let's cut the music. Hello, everyone. Nice to have you all here. I think we're live, so just let us know in chat if you can hear us. My name is Harry Roper. I come from a company called Imaginary Space. Today, I'm joined by Juan Pablo Flores from Cline, who's a senior developer advocate at their company. Welcome, Juan. And also Ricardo from Product Latam. Great to have you guys here. This live stream is going to be an interesting one because we're going to try and do some live building. It could go wrong, it could go really right, but hopefully it shows you guys a lot of like the fun things that you can build with vibe coding and tools like Cline as well. I'll give it over to Juan though, who maybe can give a little intro about Cline and what they do.
Yeah, totally. Thanks for having me. It's great to spend this Friday evening with all of you, vibe coding some weird projects. So there's nothing better. Um, just as a brief intro, my name is Juan Pablo Flores. I'm a senior developer advocate here at Cline. Cline essentially is an open source AI agent that helps developers to code whatever you have on your mind. And the idea is that Cline has the ability to solve some of the most complex coding tasks that you have available. So compared to other like tools, Cline as it's open source, it also is it allows anyone to bring whatever model or provider they feel they can work with. And this also enables developers to be able to not only work with models that they feel work the best, but also to get the most out of those models that they're paying for. So we don't rate limit, we don't put any limitations in the way that you use these models. At the end, the goal here is that you can make the most out of them. Yeah, we are like a small startup here in San Francisco. Super excited to be joining you and, just like code whatever we're going to be coding today.
Nice, awesome.
Amazing. Hello, everyone. I'm Ricardo from Product Latam. We're a community of tech and product builders in Latin America, and we're happy to be hosting this also as a warm-up for a buildathon we'll be hosting on Tuesday, where we hope to see you all guys in person in Mexico City.
Wow, nice. So I think the session today is we're going to try and build a little bit. And I've taken the role of being the guinea pig, to do the vibe coding, and hopefully Juan and Ricardo are going to help me. If you guys have any ideas of things that we could add to this or build as we're doing it, or if you have any questions for Juan or Ricardo as well, then make sure to drop them in chat because we'll be checking and bringing them up as well. Hello, Juan Pablo Flores. Good to see you. Hello, Santiago. Nice to have you in chat. Good to see that everybody's here. All right. Well, without further ado, what are we building today, guys, is my real question. So let me just share my screen, and I believe we're up and running. So what are we building today? Well, as you probably know, with Product Latam and the event that we're doing as well, we've got a lot of speakers coming to the event. And I thought something fun that we could try and do today really quickly is build a landing page using Cline that will allow us to, I guess, take over the world. I don't know. Let's see. But I think it's really cool because you should be able to see how quickly it is to build with these vibe coding tools. Now, I'm inside VS Code, and just like a couple of prerequisites that I set up on a basic level, I've got a basic React project with TypeScript and Tailwind CSS. I haven't done anything else apart from create a hero. So I'll show you guys what my beautiful website looks like right now, and then we can get to programming. It looks like I'm already running it. Awesome. Let's go to localhost 3000. So this is what we're starting with. I'm not going to lie, it looks pretty basic. But something you said, Juan, was that could be cool to try was just to take a screenshot of this hero, right, and see if we could.
Yeah. I think we can like start explaining a little bit of the interface with Cline. So right here, you have VS Code open, and you have installed already the Cline extension. So the Cline extension is the main way that you can interact with the Cline core, which is kind of like this backend that we have developed for you to make the most out of like AI models. Super interesting is like today we receive a pull request in our project from OpenAI to improve OpenAI models. So what is happening is like these AI model labs are contributing to the project so that you can get the best results out of those models. It's kind of like the very classic chat interface that you have. But before you send that, we need to set up like the good practices with Cline. And
Okay.
one of the first steps that I always recommend folks to do, on the bottom left corner, bottom right, sorry, you have plan and act. And what we were kind of like the first coding agent that allowed developers to divide the work on two pieces. One is kind of like planning, where you're having this conversation with the AI agent. The agent is going through your project to collect enough context in order to understand what you currently are working on and what you want to do. And the idea when you put Cline on plan mode is to work with Cline to finalize kind of like a project specs that you would like Cline afterwards to take over. The other piece that is cool here, if you go on the bottom left that it says like Plotonet 4.5, you can click there and you can choose like an infinite amount of models out of like Cline. I think Sonnet 4.5 is probably the most popular and the one that we're recommending right now. But for example, yesterday, Claude Haiku 4.5 came out and we had it available for everyone within a few minutes.
Nice.
And the idea here is that you're able to choose whatever model you think will work best for the type of work that you want to do. So, for example, Claude Sonnet is really good for any coding kind of work. Claude Haiku is great if you want speed, for example. Grok is great because it's free, so you don't have to pay for it. So there's like a lot to play around with these models based on the type of work that you want to do. I think for this type of work, we can leave like Claude Sonnet 4.5 just because it's the one that makes the most sense for the project. You have already written there like some. What did you write there? Remodel?
Yeah, sorry, I should probably make it bigger for everyone. There we go.
Yeah, thank you.
So remodel the hero to look more like this image, and I put it in plan mode so that it can put a plan together before we actually implement it.
Let's go for it.
All right, cool. And I noticed something with Cline that was quite cool as well. Well, two things really. One is that I really like that you guys shout out the cost of an API request per like prompting session that you're doing. That's quite cool. But I also saw you can bring your own API key, right? So you're not locked into using Cline's model providers. Like you could bring your own if you wanted to.
Correct. So you can do it in two different ways. One of them is you can use Cline, you can bring other model providers, you can bring other API keys, and even something that I've been playing out today with these local models.
Cool.
So I can have my own local models here with Cline. It seems like Cline is like saying Tropic, Lucinet. There's like some errors there.
Yeah. It looks like it's putting together it's put together the prom. I don't know why we're getting
it's retrying just to see if it's over. Kind of like sometimes models will kind of like mess it up a little bit. So let's see if it comes out with it. If not, go to Claude Haiku.
Yep.
And we can try another model just to kind of like reset the connection to the models. Can you go to the profile photo that is on the top right of Cline? So you have the Cline extension. Yeah, that one. Okay, so that's great. Cool. So you have everything set up.
Great.
Let's
should we
retry?
Yeah. This is all the part of live building, by the way, guys. Like it never goes straight forward.
Can you go down so that we can see what Cline is currently doing?
Yep. Just waiting for it to do its thing.
What is going on? Sometimes did you just install Cline? Is it that the first time you run it?
No, I've run it a couple of times. What I'll do is let's close Visual Studio.
Yeah, let's restart VS Code because I think like VS Code might be getting in the way.
That's fine.
Juan, we have a question from Tiago. Which model Cline performs the best?
Yeah, that is a great question. I think the main model providers like OpenAI or Anthropic do really well. Grok is also doing really well, but something that is important to understand from like the AI world is that these changes like every week.
Yeah.
So right now, for example, I think Anthropic is doing like really, really good. So I'm a big fan of using Anthropic on my own projects. Do you mind opening a new task in the plus sign?
Yep.
so that we can let's restart it just to make sure that it is getting the context, and then you'll need to copy and paste the
image again, right?
yeah.
That's okay. We got it. I'm using Haiku, so let's see if we can get through with this. And this context window here, right, is like for people who don't understand what this like progress bar is. It's basically how much context it like the model can remember before it has to restart again.
So what happens is like when you're working, oh no, we're getting the same error. What is going on? I think this is a great opportunity to debug what's happening here.
Yeah.
Let's
I
move
mean,
from Anthropic models and let's use OpenAI, because maybe like Anthropic is having some issues right now.
yeah.
Normally, like when we see this happening, it's more on the model provider. So there you have like a search bar when it says Anthropic Haiku.
Yeah.
You can write there. Let's do OpenAI. Let's do an OpenAI
GPT-5
Codex.
or Codex. Codex Mini?
Let's do it with Codex Mini. Let's see how it performs.
Daddy.
Ari, can we make the screen bigger?
Yes, we can. Let's maximize that.
Nice.
There we go. Cool.
Perfect.
So everything's super zoomed in, but I think I got it. Cool. Codex Mini. Here we are. Remodel the hero to match this image.
Okay, let's see. Hopefully.
Oh, fingers crossed.
If not, I can happily do it from my computer as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't know why I would have any issues. There we go.
Oh yes, there it is. Thank you. Okay, it's responding now. We're missing.
Everybody relax. Everybody relax.
This is a way that we prove that this is not pre-recorded. Like this
Yeah,
is completely live. So what it's doing right now is it's collecting. So it says like Cline wants to read this file, and you can see that there's like a yellow square there, and now your context has increased. So what happened there is Cline is going through your code and is collecting the relevant pieces of code that will help for this specific task. So those yellow squares represent a tool call that Cline did for reading files. And then now we're in 16.4 tokens on your 200K token context window. And this is a limitation that models will put in order to ensure that they are working optimally. So in this case, OpenAI Codex Mini has a maximum context window of 200K. And currently we're using 16.4K, which means we still have a long way to go. The other cool thing that Cline does is that whenever Cline reaches like 70 or 80% of the context window of a model, it will auto compress based on what has Cline defined as kind of like the most relevant pieces of context. So you don't have to really worry too much about it. But normally my recommendation is if you're reaching the context windows limitation, start a new task so that you can have like a fresh memory for your coding agent. It takes a while right now just because like Cline has a lot to discover for this specific project. But so like in terms of like speed, it depends on first of all like how much or how big the task is. The size of the task depends on how well you prompted the agent. So here Cline is asking you for more details. Probably something was not super clear for it.
Images. So I'll just say like use Unsplash, which I know is a popular image repo photos. So just random ones to fill that. And then it's saying about heading, make it up for our speaker Juan from Cline. There you go.
Oh my god, I'm already getting speaking. Oh no, we missed the third one, the main heading to heading.
I skipped that because I already defined it in the first two images. And now we're going to make up a website for you, Juan. Not to pick on you.
Cool. The other limitations here in terms of speed might be, for example, how fast your internet speed is. There might be like some limitations right now, especially because we're streaming and live coding at the same time.
Yeah.
So that might be impacting kind of like the velocity of the API responses. Here you can see like that one of the cool things about Codex is that it is a reasoning model. So it takes some time to like think, and then here's telling you what the plan will be. So
Nice.
it's
Yeah,
telling you,
because
hey, let's
I
yeah, go
forgot
for it. Go for it.
we weren't in app mode. I was like, oh, it's done, it's coded it. But actually, we've got to get it to actually do the thing.
Yeah,
And it looks
normally I would recommend kind of like taking a look at the plan just to know what it's doing, especially because like Cline tends to do a lot of work, or is really good with really big coding tasks. In
Yeah.
this case, since you already clicked on Act, it will start kind of like working on it. You might see some weird stuff going on the right side of your IDE in a few seconds. It's here probably like it's hitting some internet or connectivity issues, and it's a little bit slower, but you can see it's starting to code everything for you.
look at that. Feels like a robot.
Has modified a lot of the stuff. It seems like you also have auto approved for edits.
Yeah.
So normally Cline will be like, hey, I edited this file. Do you think okay with it? And then you approve or reject.
Yeah.
But since you have it on auto approve, Cline will automatically start to make those changes and move to the next task.
We're vibing. We're vibing. We're
Yeah.
vibing. I like this though, because like that felt very intuitive, seeing the code, like the actual code file it's editing at the moment coming up and being able to change it. And it's cool to see the different tool calls as well. I actually forgot I was in planning mode, but it looked like when I clicked act, it just auto started building based on the plan, which was cool.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know how I got the auto approve to go, it was like here, and then I just clicked edit to turn it on. I don't recommend this all the time. You sometimes want to check the code, as Juan alluded to, because if you just let an AI go crazy, it might like fuck your database or destroy stuff, right? So you want to be careful. It's a bit like with any of these tools, like it's your junior programmer or junior employee, and you're managing it. So just try and manage it well and keep an eye on what's going on. Looks like we're making progress though. I think if I go to the actual live website, we might see some changes. I need to make sure I'm running the dev server as well.
The other important thing about Cline is that Cline also has access to your terminal. So you can see there Cline is trying to run the terminal as well and try to run the project locally.
Ooh, okay.
So we got a thing there.
We got something. We got something. I mean, it got the master your journey of Juan part, right? Which is nice, and the watch and the start now. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you all a little secret that I like to do, which is to go and steal stuff from websites. So if you like a hero like this, for example, you can use this tool called the inspect tool. I got there by right-clicking, hitting inspect here, and then coming to this code. And then you'll see there's this little dropper here that you can click on. So I'll click on this hero. I can see here that it's called the home hero. I'll right-click this, copy element. That's going to copy all of this lovely layout in the hero for us. And then I just come back to Cline. Maybe what I'm going to do is just override whatever command it's running right now. You can see here I've copied all the code. So now what I'm going to do, just come to here and say, here's a better here's a better look at the layout. I took the web code log. And let's run that and see if it goes.
From the inspect?
Sorry?
You took it from the inspect?
Yeah, so we just inspected here, copied this component, and then we just steal it. And I think like that's something I really love about like web design is you guys can steal stuff from other websites and use it for your own. Just make sure you're not using copyrighted content, obviously.
Something that you can do here that will help out, if you go to the settings menu on the top right, yeah, there you go. And then go to the check marks. Yeah, there, on feature, go down, and there's a thing called Jolo mode.
Oh!
So Jolo mode is wild. We don't recommend it necessarily for any project, but if you just want to like let Cline do its own thing, you can enable Jolo mode, and Cline will like not ask you for any approval. We'll do all of the command line callings. which is kind of like cool for optimizing your velocity, but it also can be a little bit complex when a tool has access to your command line.
Yeah, especially if you're editing stuff and it goes and deletes something on the other side of the app, and then you didn't realize that and come back and see that it's destroyed one of your beautiful features. So I have YOLO mode enabled for Cline. I also have it enabled for Cursor. And I would say that there's been some happy accidents from it happening. It has destroyed my app a couple of times though as well. So I think like with preface to this, like reading the code for me is okay, but maybe you don't want to turn YOLO mode on or the auto edit mode on as well, and just read a little bit about what's going on. And I think it's a cool way to learn as well, how the code. It's the way I learned over the last 2-3 years at least. Anyway. Okay.
Yeah. So it's doing its thing, trying to update stuff. It's right now your terminal is broken because it might. Some of the problems that I have when you're using the code from other websites is that it might also try to import the frameworks the other website might be using. So if you don't have the same framework,
It's gonna be right. Yeah.
It's gonna collide a little bit, but we'll see. Cline has this other piece that is really interesting, where you can use commands to give context. So if it doesn't work, we can feed the error message that you're getting from the terminal and bring it to Cline through the @terminal command, and it will use it to try to debug itself.
Cool. Okay. Well, that'll be a great little use case just to show how do we get unstuck. I can see it's still editing some stuff, which is cool. So I guess we'll just wait for this to push forward. I think it's going to bring in an exact copy of Tony Robbins' website. So I think this is a good example of how to take something and make it your own.
It's crazy that it's bringing so many images to the website.
Yeah. I'm scared Tony Robbins is going to come knock on our door in a minute. We're going to see him just burst through. What are you guys doing? Oh my God.
What is going on? Oh my God. This is scary. What is happening?
I mean, I feel like maybe I confused it with my code drop, but let's see. So we do have a terminal error. That's fine. We can come back to that and fix it. I'm going to go to our lovely example. Oh, dude. It's actually getting there. It's actually getting there. And there's no error in the terminal as well. Let's go. Nice. Okay.
I didn't expect it to be this close yet.
So the layout is a little bit wonky, as we can see here. And I think one of the things I like to try and do is just be really specific about what in particular isn't working. So for me, it's just padding and the size of the original image.
The thing is that the Cline hasn't finished though, so it's still going through it.
I spoke ahead, so maybe like it's actually gonna just fix it, and we don't have to worry about it. We're back.
So do you see like on the 9/9 thing right below the squares? So Cline has focus chain, which essentially what it does is that whenever you ask Cline for making any changes, it will create a to-do list of tasks that it needs to complete.
Nice.
So right now you can see like it's 9 out of 9. It's still kind of working through some of the last few like items on it. My recommendation would be, since we are kind of like jumping into a lot of different tasks, the next time that we run kind of like some changes, we do it in a new task.
Nice.
Oh wait, is
I'm gonna check that.
Wait, but we have like 2 different websites, right? I see like 2.
I feel like
this is a real local one.
Yeah, what the hell?
Let's close. Yeah, let's close both terminals. Open a new one and let's see if.
Let's get a new terminal, and what we're going to do is bun start. Cool.
Let's see which one is the real one.
I mean, this one is looking. That's weird, isn't it? Because we changed the code here, and I saw a bunch of changes, and it looked like it overwrote those changes again and went back to the original version, which was curious. Yes.
Okay, let's open a new task and come with a fresh context.
Sounds good. Okay. I would like you to remodel the hero. Maybe we can try 4.5 and see if that's come back as well. That'd be cool.
Let's see. Yeah, that's good.
I would like you to
Started
remodel.
on plan mode though. The other thing with yellow mode is that if you start on plan mode, whenever Cline decides that it has a good plan, it will automatically move to act mode.
Nice. Okay. So I'm gonna do my trick again. I'd like you to remodel matching this design. Take the code and bring it into our project, and then I will just paste this. And we're going to YOLO mode it. So we're just going to send that.
We'll see.
Nice.
Hopefully the Anthropic. Oh, okay, Anthropic is back with us. That's great.
Sick. There you go.
That is so weird though. Like probably we hit like some sort of issue there
Awesome. Yeah.
last time.
What has been surprising for you working at Cline, Juan?
So one of the cool things about Cline is that not only the developers uses Cline, Nick Bauman, who's our product marketing person, he uses Cline for marketing content as well. Because at the end, everything is text, right? So he's able to create like tweets, respond to Reddits, respond to emails. He connects like MCP servers, for example, for Reddit. There you can see like it was like, hey, I finished my plan. I can go to act mode on my own.
Yeah, and it switched here as well. That felt kind of like futuristic. Like boom, let's get it.
So for both like technical and non-technical folks, it works really good to get like any type of task done, and I think it's really powerful that, for example, Nick that doesn't have a technical background, he has been using Cline so much that it's like his bread and butter right now. And we use it for everything, and it saves us like a lot of time. Like if you think about Cline, like we have around like 3 to 4 million installations of Cline, and our team, like when I joined, it was like around like 10 to 11 people.
Okay.
So it's like probably the only way to scale at the level that we scale was like using AI to help us kind of like accelerate this process.
Okay, and for those who aren't like familiar with Cline's story, how did you guys scale? That sounds really interesting.
So Cline was born like a year and a half ago. Oh my god, is it the website? Shut up.
It's fire, dude. Look at that. Let's fucking go. Okay. Well, I'll let you carry on explaining. I'm gonna look online for another section whilst you do that. I'm gonna go to my favorite site, Dribble. If you guys haven't used it before, some good designs here.
Totally. So Cline was born as a hackathon project in around like May 2024. It was Saud, who is the founder. He made during localhost 3001 in that page. So that was probably why it's not working. And the thing that Saud saw at the time was this was during the launch of Sonnet 3.6 from Anthropic, which was the first AI model that allowed agentic type of workflows. So for the hackathon, he developed Cline, the first version of Cline, and unfortunately, he didn't win the hackathon. But still, like he wanted to continue developing the project, and he continued. And then by earlier, I would say like October last year, which was like 5 months after the hackathon, Cline started to gain a lot of traction because it was like an open source model, anyone could use it. Also, there was a lot of fights with like the big AI IDEs, for example, like Cursor and these other kind of like big applications, because they were decreasing the quality of the models that they were providing to their users in order to make like margins and make some money out of it. And Cline on the other side is super transparent, so you can see where your code is at, where it's being used, how it's being used by these AI tools, and that gave a lot of reassurance to a lot of developers. And also, like the results were pretty good. By like February, it grew like crazy. It had like probably around like 35 to 40,000 GitHub stars, which is kind of like the way that we measure popularity with open source projects.
Yep. And is the plan to stay open source? Is that kind of like the philosophy of Cline?
That is correct. Cline is going to remain open source. There's going to be a few changes that we're doing, and this is where the CLI comes to play, which is our command line interface that we launched yesterday,
Nice.
where we don't want Cline to only be a VS Code or a JetBrains extension. We think Cline can be a platform where other people develop their AI coding agents. So what we're doing is like offering this platform or piece of infrastructure for other people to build, and allowing them to like just build the AI tools that they feel work best for them. For example, this week is Dreamforce here in San Francisco. Salesforce forked Cline, and now their AI coding tool is essentially a fork of Cline. Oracle also made like a fork of Cline. So a ton of like big companies are forking Cline to be able to build their own agentic tools. And our idea here is like, how can we continue to be the best framework or the best kind of coding agent that you can build upon from? And that is essentially our work right now, where Cline is no longer just like a VS Code extension, but it's much more a piece of infrastructure to build upon from.
Sure, that makes sense. So it like fits into the enterprise stack really nicely.
Yeah. Oh my God, the Cline is doing so much work for us.
I'm scared, but I'm also excited at the same time. But it looks like that in, which is good.
It's part of the fear of like the YOLO mode is like blindly trusting that oh my God, what?
Hey, look at that, dude. Let's go. I mean,
this is so good.
From hello, young dog. From this screenshot to this section, like that's pretty wild, dude. It got the like masoneric grid going. That's fire. That's fire. Maybe what I'll do here is remove these vertical lines. Just make sure that the branding matches the hero.
Like probably like a nav bar at the top.
Yes, exactly that. Let's add that as well.
That is so crazy. I'm so surprised. Every time that I use Cline and I live stream, it's like it does sometimes like things that I'm just mind blown by.
Hell yeah. Oh, it looks like it's actually going to go through now after. So that's interesting. It did the implementation step first, trying to get it as close to the screenshot. And now it's going to go back over it.
Yeah. So I think it just completed a chunk of code.
It did. Cool.
Still kind of going through it. We feel like sometimes Cline is a little bit neurotic. Well, we will try to verify and re-verify that things are working properly. Here, it's giving you like a summary of the changes that it has done, and now it's trying to run your local
We're going to ignore
server.
And
you can reject it. Oh yeah, never. Okay, cool. So,
dude, we're getting there though. We've got like 2 sections in what, 4 prompts, 5 prompts? Not much.
Yeah, no, it's crazy sometimes. This morning we did like a live stream with our founder and everyone, and it did these like it coded a whole chess game, and it looked like really, really well. Like it was like incredibly well designed, and I was like, "There's no way I could have done this myself." Like not in like the 5 to 10 minutes that it took time to code the whole thing on its own.
Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense.
Juan, do you know of any other interesting use case of non-technical builders?
Yeah, no, there's a lot. For example, there is so we have like these thing called like MCP servers, right? That enable Cline to connect with external tools and use them to, I don't know, like analyze data, or just like, for example, you can connect it to YouTube and collect like YouTube information. And literally like this week, I was talking with someone from Datadog, which is this company that allows you to kind of collect data and show it to people. But one of the biggest problems that Datadog has is that it has configuring your own Datadog dashboards are really complex. Like you need to understand the programming language behind it. You need to understand how to connect endpoints. You need to know which data you have available. And with the Datadog MCP server, you can give like that information to Cline, and Cline will connect to your Datadog account, and it will be able, and it's able to collect like data analytics. It can come up with conclusions about the data that you have collected. We also use it, for example, for once you have gone through like a call, if you don't have like Granola or these other like great tools for summarizing calls, you can use Cline as well to make those summaries. So I think essentially, like, if you have any text input, or you can connect it to external tools, you can do something with Cline that is really, really interesting. So yeah, go for it.
Did I see it opened a browser as well to check the website? Yeah, it did. What the hell? Look at that.
So Cline has like its own browser tool. Whenever it finishes a task, it will try to open it to see if it has done the work correctly. And then if it has not, it is able to create itself. So it has like this awesome like browser tool. I'm a big fan of it. You can see now you have like your navbar there at the top.
Yeah, dude, look at us go. We're getting there already.
Wow.
So yeah,
what's interesting is we haven't even spent $1 yet, which is crazy, really, considering if I had got like a traditional programmer to put this together, dude, like that would have been $60, like burnt straight away, just spending an hour or two coding this. So speed is insane. Speed is insane. Okay, cool. So let's cancel that. Okay, great. What else can we start adding to this page? And by the way, guys, if you're watching live, tell us in chat what we should be building for sure. We've got loads of people. Okay, I'm gonna not show the streamers. Get back to building. Cool. Great. This looks good.
So, I think what we can do, go back to Cline, and now, so Code.net is known for being kind of like our mid-cost, like it's kind of like the mid-cost model. So it's not too expensive. It gets things done. Then we have like these models that are a little bit more expensive, but that will help you go a little bit further. So I would open a new task.
Let's do
and
that.
Then instead of Plot.net, let's use Opus instead. So
Okay.
it's from Anthropic as well. So you can write there like Opus 4.1, I think is the latest one. Yeah, that one. So Opus is like a very expensive model from Anthropic that does like really, really strong reasoning. Here, for example, you can add like I don't know, let's say you want the hero to use the full width, which is something that I've seen that it hasn't done on the website, right? Like it's still has some margins there that are getting in the way.
Yeah, we just need like a slight padding to the side, not this like constrictive view.
Yeah, let's do it full width. So ask Cline. Before you do that, we can do app TSX.
Nice to get the code right. There you go.
Make the background image in the hero full width. Yeah. So what you're doing that there's like specifically telling it where you want this change or which piece of code you want it to think of. This is great when you're using very expensive models because then you're constraining the amount of context and files that it needs to read in order to understand the context.
Because otherwise,
Yeah.
It would do what we did previously, right? Which is go through every single file before making the edit. But in this case, because it knew that app TSX is the one that we wanted to edit, it went directly there instead to make the change.
Yeah. And then it found that you have like an index CSS that needs to modify, which is great. Yeah. You're going to see like, if you see the top right, it's already in 36 cents. So you can see like, this is like fairly more expensive model than what we've been using before, with the benefit that it normally provides better results from any other models that I've seen around.
Nice. That's cool. And I mean, like, it's nice that we have the cost here as well, so we can just keep an eye on that. I can't tell you the amount of times I've burnt like credits in other tools, and then seen like a huge bill come in at the end of the month. It's crazy.
Okay, hopefully we'll get some fancy results here.
I hope so. No pressure, Opus. No pressure.
I have a question. In the YOLO mode, it keeps operating even if you're not using it?
So it will keep operating until it reaches the end of a task. So when it completes the task or it identifies that it has completed it, it will stop kind of working.
Can you make it like self-optimizing every certain amount of time?
Oh, you're getting to the real questions here. So we do have that. That is something that we released yesterday with the CLI, where you can have multiple agents. So you can have like an orchestrator agent that has like sub agents working on different parts of the project, and then having them like self-optimize itself. Here, for example, something that I would recommend for projects like this one is even like before you send that, let's open a new task.
Okay.
And we have this thing called Cline rules that essentially help the model to get some guardrails on how much it can do or what it can do or what the project is all about. So here, let's ask Cline, hey Cline, can you create some Cline rules for this project based on the tech stack?
Nice. That's cool that you can get it to write its own. That's very meta. You're getting the AI to write its own rules.
Yes.
Yeah. Cool.
So you can run that.
That's so cool.
And
Nice.
it will analyze your project structure. Then it will create like rules. And the benefit of having these rules is that it will make Cline even more effective when it's coding. So right now it's going through like your project packages, it's going through like all of the structure of your project, trying to understand what it's all about, and then bring that to some Cline rules so that it will follow these rules in the future and not have to deviate so much into like the other sides of the project or things that are not valuable for the project.
That was like putting that puts on Ricardo's question, which is like this self-improving idea. So
Nice.
as you build the project, I imagine you keep adding to the Cline rules to make sure it's still in context of everything.
Correct. And we have these more advanced modes. If you want to try it out, it's kind of like wild, but I love it. If you go to the Cline docs, we have something called the memory bank. And this is essentially making Cline aware of the status of the whole project. Then it stores a file with like what's the current status. And then every time that you do changes, it saves those changes that it has done in the past so that it keeps building like a long-term memory of what Cline has done and how the project has evolved. Which is kind of like, that is where like things get a little bit scary because it's Cline creating its own long-term memory of the project and then improving every time that you ask Cline to do stuff. It's quite wild. It had a lot of engineering. You can see here, Cline has finished the Cline rules and it's saying, this is kind of like the tech stack that I found. So this is pretty good.
Looks cool. I think because we're getting a little close to time, I'd love to finish up this website. So I thought as an experiment, we could just let Opus, Cline, and Plan Mode see if it can like one-shot finish our website. I'm being ambitious though, so we might break some stuff. But
do you want to try? If you give Cline the URL, it will open a browser, analyze the page structure, and probably can copy paste it.
Okay, let's try it. Finish the landing page with a few more sections and a footer. Here's the website we're taking. I'm going to say inspiration from, not that we're stealing. We're taking inspiration.
And this is something that we call one-shotting, which is you give Cline a prompt, and then you give also not only kind of like the prompt or the intention of the action you want it to make, but you're also giving Cline one example of what success looks like. And this helps AIs to be able to understand a little bit better what they need to do and a goal to pursue. So hopefully like this is going to be something that is going to pull from it. I think it's analyzing currently like the main website that you shared.
I saw it go through the thinking. It identified the different sections that the site had, so that's cool. And now we'll see if we can get this one shot. But I guess like the thing to reiterate to people who are watching, and I think Juan's really well alluded to it, and Ricardo as well, which is that like you don't really need to be technical to build this. Like I don't think we touched the code once. in this case. Like we are just prompting and building this website, but within what, an hour, I nearly have a full landing page. Now, yes, we did copy it from Tony Robbins, so we did cheat a little bit, but you can imagine if you did this process and then went through the landing page again and kind of built out everything that you needed, added the text you wanted, the images, I think within like 2 to 3 hours, you could get like a pretty comprehensive website built with Cline. And I wonder, Juan, if there's any other examples of customers you've seen who've had like real success using the tool as well and building things fast.
Yeah, we have so many of them. The problem is that not a lot of people will be willing to say that they use Cline for it. But some of the stories we've heard, for example, Amazon has Kiro, that is their own AI coding tool, but
Yeah.
like most of the engineers at Amazon are using Cline to code.
To build
So
it gets deeper and deeper.
So I think this is where we're saying, like the nature of being open source is great because we reach to these like Fortune 500 companies that we were probably not aware that they are using it. The challenges of open source is like, yes, we don't know where they're using this project, right? And every time that we go out to events, for example, the Build-a-thon that we're organizing on Tuesday and Wednesday next week, when we go to like conferences and other hackathons, it is during these events that we learn that like these companies are using Cline and they're super familiar with the tool. So a lot of our job is kind of like going out there and just like try to understand who's using it. And
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if you've heard, but like there's Ricardo, probably like Petco in Mexico, that is like a huge pet supplies company. I talked with like their engineers last week. They were here for a conference in San Francisco. They were like, "We love Cline. We use it all the time." I'm like, I had no idea you guys were using like Cline. Like, there's no way I can know that.
Are they in Mexico City? You're gonna invite them to the Build-a-thon.
Of course, yeah. No, they are super up to joining us for the Build-a-thon. Yeah.
Just for those who don't know about the Build-a-thon, what is it, guys?
Yes, basically we're hosting along with Cline a Build-a-thon in Mexico City. We're having a huge hacker space. We're having a coffee shop and a co-working space, along with another workshop space where experts from the industry in Mexico City, like CTOs of the main companies and startups in Mexico, are going to be solving missions during 2 days using tools like Cline to speed up the process. And then we're having a demo night on Wednesday at 6 p.m. in General Prim at Juarez in Mexico City. We're gonna share the link to everyone in our social media, and it's a pretty open space to build and experiment. There are gonna be different missions from pharma companies to airlines to hotel and hospitality to just Harris is hosting a mission which is about building a viral app. So we're excited to have you all there, and we expect to be building cool stuff together.
Hella cool stuff. Oh, that's Tony Robbins' website. For that was us. Let's refresh this and see what Cline has done. Oh, wow. All right, dude, let's go. It got the branding as well. Look at that. Sick.
Yeah, that is so good.
He even pulled in images from Unsplash, which I'm so surprised about. I don't think this form will work, but we could use MCP or something to connect that to a database at some point. But yeah, there you go.
Well, it did something. We don't know if actually stored the
data. Seems to work.
I guess this is a great start, right? Because like we did this in an hour, and now like you can just imagine with like another hour of tweaks, we'd have a finished website, basically.
Totally.
And yeah, who knows? Maybe we'll have to carry on building this. Cool. Well, that's it for live building. Juan, is there anything that you'd like to share about Cline before we finish?
I would say join our like Discord, Twitter, every space that we have. We're trying to create more content for folks who are getting started with AI coding. We have a thing called, if you go to cline.bot/learn, we have created a thing called AI Coding University. We don't teach you like Cline, we teach you the fundamentals to coding with AI through Cline so that folks are able to understand how to make the most out of these tools. a lot of the problems that we've seen is like sometimes like AI marketing is like you just put like a prompt and it will magically do the thing for you. But what we've learned is that with the right kind of like educational content and resources, folks are able to really make the most out of these models. So Cline is here to kind of like optimize the system prompts and everything, but it still needs you as a user to do the right inputs and use the tool in a way that is kind of like effective. And through Coding University, we are providing those resources, and we work with an amazing content creator to create resources for all of you. So if you want to learn more about how to use AI coding tools, highly recommend taking a look into it. And if you're building with Cline, let us know, because we would love to see what you got your hands on.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, Napu said it looks good, so I think we did a good job for the stream. Did you want to say anything about Product Latam before we finish? Come to the Buildathon if you're watching.
Yes, you gotta come to the Buildathon, join the community. It's people is hosting challenges and spaces across Latin America. We're excited that people like you, Harry, and Juan, and Cline, and a lot of companies also participating at the Buildathon are excited about what's going on in Latin America. And I think we are on a good time to start creating amazing companies from the region. And we're excited to see what's happening at the Buildathon and also in the near future. Thanks, Harry and Juan, for hosting the space.
And you, awesome. And yeah, like if you guys saw, we pooped this out in like an hour and we got like a half decent little result, right? Like imagine what you can do in 2 days at a Buildathon, especially if you have access to great people like Juan at the event as well. I'm not going to say go and bombard him, but I'm sure there's some little sneaky tricks that everybody can teach you as well. So
yes, this is something important I wanted to add. There's going to be really interesting mentors in the event. It's a great opportunity to meet people that could help solve these missions, but also create a better ecosystem in regards of building tech products. So yeah, we hope to see you all there.
Nice. Cool. With that, we will end the stream. So thanks so much, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you all soon. Ciao.
See you next week, y'all.